Tammy. Hi, how are you? I can't wait to see you next Tuesday. Hi, Francis. How are you today? Do you ladies have your tea ready? I have mine. I'm drinking blueberry tea today. Okay, we're going to just wait a minute or so, let some more people come on. Ladies, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for showing up to have tea today. Tea and inspiration so we can refresh and renew. That's what it's all about, right? Right. Okay, so bear with me. This is my first time ever doing Facebook Live. Hi, Bev. Hi, Regina. Hi, Tim. My son, he's on to support me. My daughter-in-law is here to support me technical-wise and all. She'll be manning the questions and comments. Bev, you already had tea, so you're drinking water. I have actually both here, so tea and water together. You know what I'll be doing when this is all over, right? So thank you so much, ladies, for coming today. This is so fun. I've been wanting to do this for forever, so today's the day, and first time ever on Facebook Live. I've done live TV and videos, but never Facebook Live. So hey, Francis, you're good. Great, glad to hear it. All right, so I'm a firm believer in starting on time, so we've got 3:02 here. I'm sure people will pop on. And I'd like to get going. I know you're busy. I'm busy. I want this to be something that's fun for you and that you're not kind of checking your watch and saying, oh, when's this going to be over? I have to get back to work or whatever. So, ladies, I would like to just start out by having you just close your eyes. Hey, Jane from England. I'm so glad you made it. Thank you. All right, close your eyes just for a moment. Let's just take a deep breath. You've probably come from work or doing some other activities, so let's just kind of breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, let's just kind of set the tone here, get settled, because we want to do life sip by sip rather than gulp by gulp, right? I want you to imagine for a minute that you're just sitting in this beautiful tea room. We're all sitting there, and we've got this lovely place to sit and relax, and we're actually looking face to face and having some fun together. So one day my dream is that we actually do that. Today we'll have to just make believe, but one day we will do that. So again, welcome for those of you who weren't here when I said before. This is my first ever Facebook Live. I've done live TV, I've done videos. First ever Facebook Live. I'm not really sure why. I haven't done it before. I guess I felt a little intimidated by the technology. So, and I apologize for the glare today in my glasses. We just couldn't get the lighting quite right to eliminate that. So, I would love to start out with just a quick prayer. I want to bless our time together. I want to bless you, ladies, and then we'll get into our tea. So if you would just take a moment with me, and I just want to thank you, Lord, for this time that we get to share together. I thank you for each and every person that is here today. I ask that you would bless them and let them feel your presence with them. Bless our time together, that we would all feel uplifted and refreshed when this is over. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much. I am going to use my notes. 2 reasons. If I don't use my notes, sure enough, I'm going to get to the end of this and go, oh my gosh, I forgot to say the most important thing. And if I don't use my notes, I tend to kind of go off on one area or another and lose track of where I'm supposed to be. So I am going to use my notes and work off of that so I don't forget anything and stay on track. So the reason I wanted to gather you all together here is twofold. First of all, it's part of my dream to inspire you to do your dreams. So in that process, I found that gathering us together and just taking a little bit of time to check out from whatever busyness we're part of. And like I said, do life sip by sip rather than gulp by gulp. It helps us to slow down. And what does that mean, sip by sip rather than gulp by gulp? Well, you know, in this day and age, doesn't it feel like things just kind of pop, 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 just constantly coming at you, good and bad? And sometimes we just need to like chill out, step back, and take a sip rather than a gulp, right? We need to stop getting overwhelmed and just feeling like we've got to, drink out of the fire hose and just take a few sips. And so that's what this is about. Today and the next 4 Thursdays in July, I just want to kind of get us to a point where we're taking that time, we're slowing down for about 30 minutes or so, and we're being refreshed and renewed and inspired to do the rest of the week and whatever else is on your to-do list. So I just want you to feel inspired by that. Today, what I'd like to share with you, after I have a sip of my tea, so do you ladies have your tea? I think there's a few new people have joined us. I'm drinking blueberry tea today, the Celestial Seasoning True Blueberry. I wanted to do it since it's 4th of July weekend coming up. I've got my red, white, and blue, which I don't wear very often. I'm a pink girl. And I wanted to try this blueberry tea, which is, I thought it might be a little blue. Can you see? It's more kind of like a red. So this would be, it's good warm, but it would be fabulous as an iced tea. So you might want to add that to your menu for the weekend. So today I'd like to share with you the gift of you. You are a gift. You are unique. You're wonderfully made. You have wonderful gifts and talents that are unique to you. I have them that are unique to me. And I wanted to just talk about that a little bit today because I run across a lot of women who just really don't realize how special they are. And I want you to know today that you are special. You are unique. You have gifts and talents that God put in you that aren't only to bless you, but they're to bless others as well. He wants you to share those unique gifts and talents that you have. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Is that okay with you? All right, great. So I am going to share a little bit from my book, Facets of Graciousness. I wrote this book a few years ago, Facets of Graciousness, Inspirations to Smooth the Rough Edges of Life. And it's designed as a journal of sort, like an inspirational journal. So there are quotes in scripture, and then there are, on each day, each page, it's meant to be done like a daily refreshing. And on each day, there's a spot for you to journal your aha moments and your thoughts that come after you've read the content. So today I'd like to start out with the very first page, and it says, "For a dream comes through much activity, and a fool's voice is known by his many words." That's in Ecclesiastes 5, 2-4. So let's take the first part. For a dream comes through much activity. A lot of people think that all they have to do is wish and dream and it's just going to happen. And it's just not that way. You have to invest in your dreams. You have to do things to accomplish those dreams. It takes steps, discipline. You have to show up. And that second part says, "And a fool's voice is known by his many words." So that means there's a lot of people who talk about doing something, doing their dreams, but they never put the action to it. They never overcome or develop the things that they need to develop and overcome to accomplish those dreams. So here's instruction from God's Word that we need to put action to it and not just talk about it. So it'd be nice if we could just talk about it and it happened, but it doesn't work that way. And then a quote that I wrote, "We are each diamonds in the rough, with multifaceted beauties and talents waiting to be polished and developed to their full brilliance." You know what that means? We're all unique, beautiful, valuable gems. Now, who knows how a diamond starts out? Does anybody know? Oh, Bev, you have the book and love it. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you do. So, who knows how a diamond starts out? Anybody? Looking at the comments? Okay. A diamond starts out as a lump of coal. Yep, a lump of coal. A black, ugly lump of coal. And then it takes a lot of pressure and polishing and refining, and then you end up with the valuable, sometimes priceless, gem. So we are the same way. Yes, Cammie Cole. I guess there's a little bit of a delay. So yes, ding, 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 you got it. So a diamond has to go through a lot of pressure and a lot of changes. It's not comfortable. I'm sure it's probably something that the diamond would prefer not to go through if it had feelings. And our dreams are much the same way. Our unique talents and gifts are the same way. We have to apply some pressure. We have to apply some work. Sometimes it feels good and sometimes it doesn't feel very good. Sometimes we want to do it and sometimes we don't want to do it. But that's the only way that we can hone those skills and those talents so that they're a blessing to us and to others. So it takes effort on our part. And there's no such thing as an overnight success. Sometimes we might look at people off in the distance. Regina, I see you also said black coal. Yes. We look at people off in the distance and, all of a sudden we see how successful they are and we think that was an overnight success. What you didn't see is all the behind the scenes work, all the pressure and the polishing and the honing of the skills that they had to do to be that overnight success. So we need to be careful that we don't fall into that trap. It's our responsibility to hone and polish our gifts and talents and to create the vision for our dreams so that we know where to direct those gifts and talents to. So I want to give you something to think about as we go through this today. What gifts and talents do you have that are unique to you that maybe are lying dormant that you need to hone and polish? For some of you might have seen the download today. This is actually kind of after the page in the book, but if you have it, it's a place for you to take notes. If not, the link will be in the recording so you can download it. But it's got the scripture and the quote, and then it's got a place for you to take notes. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. And that we'll have that each time we gather, so watch for that. If you register beforehand and get the emails, then you'll be able to get the download for that. So let me just talk a little bit about the fact that we need to recognize what our gifts and talents are, that we have gifts and talents. First of all, there's a lot of people who go through life not ever realizing that they have gifts and talents, and I think that's pretty sad. Oftentimes it's because our unique gifts and talents many times are things that come naturally to us to a certain degree, and so we don't recognize them. It's something maybe that we just do all the time, and we don't really think that it's all that special. And really what we need to realize is that for other people, perhaps it is very special. So one thing that I recommend for people to do, and I would highly recommend for you to do this, if you're not sure, maybe you know what some of your gifts and talents are, but maybe you feel like there might be some more, ask someone that you trust, someone who cares about you, someone who loves you, who's going to be honest but uplifting, and ask them, what are some traits or skills or talents that I have that you think are special? And you might be surprised at what they have to say. I know a few times I've been surprised, like, really? I just don't even think about that. To me, it's just kind of who I am. And that's the whole point. Who we are made up of the unique gifts and talents that God put in us, right? Makes sense. So sometimes our gifts and talents might seem frivolous or purposeless to us, but they're not. They're there for a reason. So we want to make sure that we develop them. And what we want to do is develop them to a place of excellence. And I want to just spend a minute here on excellence. Excellence and perfection are two different things, right? There's no such thing as perfection. We can never, ever reach a level of perfection. It just doesn't exist. Outside of God, it just doesn't exist. But we can run around in circles and really get down on ourselves trying to pursue that and chase that, and it will come to nothing. However, we can always go to a new level of excellence in whatever it is. If we're honing a skill or a talent, learning something new, we can start here and then build our skills and go here and then here and here. So we can always see a new level of excellence to attain. And that is really far different from perfection. I am a mostly recovered perfectionist. Kind of has to do a lot with how I was raised. But it took me a long time to realize that I can never do it all perfectly. I can't do really anything perfectly, but I can do a lot of things with excellence. Sometimes that creeps in, but I'm really good at recognizing it now and keeping it at bay. So if you find that you have that tendency, maybe ask, to be able to recognize that so that you can correct it and say, no, I don't need to be perfect, but I can raise my level of excellence. And it does take effort on our part. We have to do our part. So the other thing I always like to remember is that I'm a work in progress. You're a work in progress, okay? We're not going to be at the same place as any other person, and we shouldn't be comparing our chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 12 and vice versa, okay? We've got a lot unique in our lives that's going on, and we're the ones that know where we're at. Nobody else knows where we're at, so don't get into that comparison trap, okay? It doesn't go anywhere, and it will defeat you. It will keep you from your dreams. So you want to make sure you don't go there. It's also important to realize that our gifts and talents will change over the years. As we grow and mature, they might change completely, or they might take on a new bent. We might start out with going one direction with a particular gift or talent, and then all of a sudden, when we get to a certain level of honing and polishing, a whole new world opens up that we never thought of. So keep that in mind. That you won't necessarily be using your gifts and talents in the same way your entire life. And some you may leave back, and you might discover new ones. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to do things the way someone else does them. If you were meant to do your life the way someone else was, then God wouldn't have made another one of you. Okay, so if you're exactly the same or trying to do it the same, that's pointless. Okay, you want to keep your unique personality, your unique gifts. You want to make sure that you cherish those and value those, and don't be comparing or trying to do what someone else is doing the way they're doing it, if you think that's what you need to do to succeed in whatever it is that you're doing. It's just not necessary. Okay, ladies, raise your teacup. I'm thirsty. I'm going to take another sip. That blueberry tea is really good. All right. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you know what your unique gifts and talents are? Have you discovered those yet? I know there's a delay here, so I'm going to just read a few. Okay. So writing, cooking, singing, sewing, organizing, managing, accounting, teaching, supporting people, mentoring people, creating. There's so many different ways to be creative. Inventing. Are you really good at thinking of solutions and inventions? Musical instruments, artistic ability, athletic ability. Maybe you're really good at getting involved in your community and politics. You've got a gift there. Humor. Maybe you're really funny. Maybe you can see the humor in situations that other people cannot. That's a real gift. Comfort, problem solving, homemaking, children. Maybe you love working with children. Maybe you love parenting, painting, cleaning, acting. The list goes on and on. So there's no category that's right or wrong. It's whatever is inside of you. And a good clue to discover what that is what do you just enjoy? What are you so passionate about that you would do it even if you didn't get paid for it? Or you lose track of time when you're doing it. That would be something that would be considered maybe a gift or a talent. So something to think about there. Okay. So I want you to stop for a second, put in the comments, I am a diamond. Yep, right now. I'm a diamond. I want you to speak that over yourself. I am a diamond. You're not a lump of coal. You are a diamond. Okay. Now, while you're doing that, I'm going to share the 5 S's necessary to see success in the gift of you. So you might want to grab a pen, a piece of paper, jot these down. So the first S is self-talk, okay? Now, if you're like me, there's this little tape recorder that goes off, right? Telling you all the things you are not. Telling you all the negative things that you don't need to hear, right? And what we need to do is we need to stop. Stop the tape, delete the tape, and spend 30 to 60 minutes, especially in the beginning, developing the mindset and a new tape that plays in order to achieve your dreams, in order to develop your unique gifts and talents. You need to program yourself with positive words about yourself, about your gifts, about your talents, and pump yourself up. So a couple of things that I say to myself every day is I am uniquely and wonderfully made. God made me a gift for the people that He has put in my circle of influence, okay? That I can do anything with Him. So I have a whole couple of books, actually, of affirmations. I have some that I've written. And I would suggest that you do the same, that you write down some positive things that you just then describe you and or who you want to be. Then step out of your comfort zone every day. Let me tell you, I am stepping out of my comfort zone right now, okay? Tackling technology. Thankfully, I have my beautiful daughter-in-law, Jessie, here, who got me all set up. She's so patient with me. She assists me in so many things. I'm so thankful to have her. And but it was a little intimidating to make sure, nothing goes wrong or whatever. So there's all kinds of things involved in it that I don't need to know. I'm thankful that she knows. But I'm stepping out of my comfort zone right now. I'm not afraid to speak in front of people. I'm not afraid to speak in front of live audiences. I love doing workshops. I would so much prefer to be face-to-face with you ladies, and one day my dream is to do that. But the technology part of it, that's intimidating to me. So I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone today. And that's something that we should be doing every single day. It'd be so easy to just stay in that cozy little place that can easily become our deathbed. Our comfort zone can become our deathbed if we aren't careful. So we need to be really careful of that. All right. And then the third S is to seek. Seek to develop and refine and perfect your unique gifts and talents. So we talked about that. And just a reminder that you want to be looking at the levels of excellence you can achieve and not perfection. Because perfection will be a death trap as well. So stay in tune with that. You want to make sure that you don't get caught up in that. So the fourth S, I have to count them here. The fourth S is show up. If we just show up, isn't that like, I don't know, sometimes for me it's like 90% of the battle, right? Showing up. There's lots of days that I maybe don't feel like showing up, or I don't want to show up. I'd rather do something else. But if I want to see my dreams accomplished, if I want to hone my skills and my gifts and my talents, I've got to show up to do it. No one else can do it for me. I can't delegate that to anyone else. It's me. It's me that has to show up. So I have this little thing I remind myself of. Get up, dress up, and show up. Right? And I find I work from home a lot, and I find that if I do dress up as if I was going somewhere else, it really does help. The days, there are some days I work in my PJs, and those can be productive days, but I think they're probably most of the time not as productive as when I dress up. So get up, dress up, and show up. Consistency and diligence are essential if you want to accomplish anything, whether it's honing your gifts and talents, going after one of your dreams, changing a habit, and something else I'm working on, I had discipline. For the big dreams that I have right now, it requires a different level of discipline. So, I'm over 60 years old, and there's still areas in my life, or still times when I have to really work on discipline. And it's not fun. It's not easy, but it's doable. Okay, and the fifth S is share. Share and release. Once you've recognized and developed your unique gifts and talents, then start using them. Start sharing them. When you have gifts and talents and you keep them all to yourself, it's kind of like, knowing that you've got $1 million in the bank and there's lots of needy people out there, and you just kind of keep it in the bank and you don't ever put it to work to help anyone or to do anything in anyone's life. It's the same thing. Your gifts and talents are very valuable, not just for your blessing, but to bless others. There are people waiting for you to show up with your developed skills and talents and gifts so that they can do something in their life. No matter what that, if it's cooking, if it's writing, horseback riding, whatever it is, there are people waiting for you to show up with those gifts and talents so that they can be blessed as well. One other thing that I would like to really drive home with you is to give yourself some grace. Now, I know from my own experience, for myself, and a lot of the women that I've worked with over the years, that we are usually harder on ourselves than anyone else is on us. Is that right? Tell me, I'm not the only one, right? I know I demand and expect way more of myself than most of the people around me. And, there's nothing wrong with holding yourself to a certain level of excellence. I think that's very important and necessary. But you have to be careful that when, you're missing it, or you're just not getting there quite there yet. For instance, I'm taking a course right now, and I'm not on the exact week that everybody else is. And I could be down on myself, but I know what else I'm doing, and I know the process I'm going through. So I'm giving myself, here's the word, ladies, grace. Give yourself grace. Day to day, we need to give ourselves grace, and we need to give others grace. Okay, there's lots of times we're going to fall short of our own expectations, and other people are going to fall short of our expectations. And when we can make grace a part of our everyday life for ourselves and for others, and it's usually easier to give it to others than it is to give it to ourselves, that is a key to keeping peace and a healthy balance in your life. It takes time to build a masterpiece. It takes time to grow and to process, to develop, whether it's a habit, a gift, a talent, a dream. Anything takes time. It's kind of like, I like to use the horseback riding. If you've never been on a horse before, you get on the first time, chances are you probably, if you spend much time on the horse, you're going to fall off, right? It's inevitable. That's happened to me more than once. And if you stick to it, though, and you go another time, you probably will go a lot longer before you fall off, and maybe you won't fall off at all. And then you go again, and then you go again, and pretty soon you find you're not falling off, and you're starting to enjoy it. And, you might develop that and hone that to the point where you're really, really good. Or at least so you're not falling off the horse all the time. So that's pretty much the way it is with anything that you're wanting to develop and grow in your life. If you remember, it's like, learning how to ride a horse if you've never rode on a horse before, or a bicycle or whatever. Remember when you started to learn how to drive. Anything like that. Just give yourself grace and time to grow and develop. Enjoy the process. And just recognize that, again, you are a gift. You are a gift in this world. God put you here for a reason. He gave you unique gifts and talents to develop, to share. to enjoy, to be a blessing to yourself and to others. And you shouldn't miss out on that. You shouldn't miss out on that. And others shouldn't miss out on what you have to offer. So I just want to encourage you to recognize that and appreciate that about yourself. And I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do today? What is one thing? And if you want to put it in the comments. What's something that you're gonna do? What's a takeaway from today? Is there a unique gift or talent that you recognize, maybe an aha moment, or one that you know you have but you haven't done anything with? What is it? Maybe you need to give yourself more grace. Maybe you need to give someone else some grace. Maybe you need to recognize that you've been striving for perfection, and now you're going to just put that in a different frame and strive for excellence. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds here. Regina, you're not finding the printable? No. Okay, so Jesse's going to reply to that and give you that information. I'm going to take a sip of tea. And what did you say, Jess? 5 to 6 second lag. Okay, so come on, ladies. I know you have something to share. What's one thing you're going to do today? And are there any questions? I wanted to allow a few minutes for a question and answer. There's always times when people are, asking me questions. It can be something about today, or Regina, stand on grace more. That's awesome. That is something it took me a long time to get to the place where I give myself grace, and sometimes my husband has to remind me to do that. So thank you for that. Any questions that you have? Any questions you want to ask as far as either what we covered today or anything else that you want to know? I know a lot of times people want to know what is something that I've dealt with or I've overcome, and I'll tell you, I've overcome a lot of things in my life. There's a lot of things that I had to change. I had to change my programming. So I know that it's possible, and I know the value of it, and I know the rewards of it. So Bev, grace also for you. Yeah. How did I know what my unique gifts and talents were? So my unique gifts and talents, I guess some things, I know I've always had a voice, so I used to sing a lot, and of course people would say, hey, you have a great voice. It wasn't until I honed it a bit and practiced a lot that I had the courage to sing in public, and then that led to speaking, and I'm the oldest of 4, so I've always been a good boss. So that translates into running a business and having the ability to delegate. I've known for so many years, I just have a really optimistic mindset, and I believe that is a gift. Not everybody has that. A lot of people have to develop that, and so I've been able to use that to create the vision that I have, which is to help women to have that same thing, to have an upbeat, positive mindset, and to believe in themselves and their dreams, and use that to accomplish and change their lives and accomplish their dreams. So I guess a combination of just recognizing what my gifts and talents were, and then other people saying, hey, you're really good at that, and kind of being like, really? And then I just put some effort to it and found, yeah, I really was good at it. Francis, you're going to step out of your comfort zone today and try something new. Awesome. And that is scary. It's not always fun. But once you do it and you get on the other side, you just kind of feel like proud of yourself. And most of the time what I feel is, that wasn't so bad. Why in the world was I afraid, or why did I delay doing that? It really wasn't as bad as I thought it was, and I should have done it a lot sooner, which is pretty much how I feel about this. So, so yeah, I think you'll find the same thing, Francis. Even if it's a little tiny baby step, it's still a step, and it still counts. So, so go ahead and, figure out what that might be for you today, and take that step. And if you want to let me know privately in Messenger what that was, or you want me to cheer you on, I welcome you to message me or whatever, and let me know about that. I love to hear about people's successes. So, well, ladies, I'm going to give it another couple seconds. If you have any other comments or questions, pop them in there right now. I just want you to know that I just really enjoyed this. Thanks, Emily. Emily's in my accountability group with this course that I'm taking, and so thanks so much for showing up today, Emily. I appreciate it. And so I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. My passion is to help you to achieve your dreams, and one of the ways that I do that is through inspiring messages and workshops and things. And some of what I shared today is actually from a course that I developed called Revive Your Dreams, Transform Your Life. I'm going to be launching it next month, so I'm not really going to talk about it right now. You'll hear more about it coming up. But it's a course that I developed based on the topics that I've covered over the years that women have said, this is what I struggle with. And so I've created something that I'm so excited to share. But it's just my passion to serve you and to help you with whatever areas that you need help with to live the life that you dream of. You deserve to do that. And it's really just a matter of figuring out, like I said, the gift of you, your gifts and talents, knowing what those are, developing them, and then finding that dream. We usually, a lot of times as women, we've stuck that dream back on a shelf somewhere. So pull it out, dust it off, blow the dust off of it and breathe new life into it. And as you do that, let me help you. Let me inspire and encourage you. And let me remind you, ladies, to take life sip by sip, not gulp by gulp. And to value the gift of you. Emily, yes, what do you feel called to do? What are your interests? That's where your magic is. Yes, you're right. And so you want to just think about that and ask, like I said in the beginning, ask someone that you trust and loves you. They're going to share with you what you're good at. And I've been fortunate to have several people over my lifetime do that with me. So I hope you enjoyed this. There will be a recording up, so if you want to share it with some friends, I would be honored. I will see you back here again next Thursday, same channel, same time. Like I said, I'm going to do this every Thursday in July, and maybe we'll go beyond that. Like I said, I'm here to serve you. I really want to encourage and inspire you, and not take a lot of time out of your day. I want it to just be a nice burst of refreshment and uplifting, and so that you can carry on. And I want to wish you all a very happy holiday weekend. We have 4th of July coming up, and we have some family gatherings I'm excited about to go to. I'm praying that the weather holds out, and we have nice weather for 4th of July fireworks and all. So again, thanks so much, ladies. I appreciate you. You are very welcome. I see many of you saying thank you. So you are so welcome, and thank you for visiting with me today and enjoying tea. I look forward to doing it again with you. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.